everybody, Katie Sutton here, intuitive channel and founder of Zen Within Academy and the New Earth Now School. I am live with your February 2023 energy update. Here we are in February. I've got 3 themes that I want to share with you this month. The first is surrender it to source. The second is healing shame and self-sabotage. And the third is claiming your journey. I hope you're doing really well. I can't believe we're here in February already. I'm so glad to see so much energy moving forward all of a sudden. I know that many of you were feeling it at the beginning of January when we had all of those planets in retrograde. Everything is direct and we are moving forward, onwards and upwards, as they say. And so there are 3 big themes that I want to talk with you about this month, and they have been coming in hot. So I've got lots to share with you about them. So the first is surrender it to source. So I think that the topic of surrender is always very present in these energy updates in some form or fashion. But what I am noticing is that there is a deep need for us to let go as we move into February. We have been manifesting from such a limited place. We have been trying to control. We've been trying to make it work. We've been acting from duality long enough. And it is time for us to learn how to surrender. And this means that if there are things that are not working, if there are things that are moving slowly, or maybe you feel like you're pushing a rock up a hill, it is time to let go and call in help. And there is a very big difference between saying that we're surrendering something and actually energetically surrendering. And I get this question all the time from my clients. How do I surrender? I would love to give you a prescription for that and tell you exactly how to do it, but it's very individual. But it generally feels like a reorientation of your entire being around the understanding that you are not in control fully of what's happening around you. The only thing that you are in control of is how you are reacting and how you are shifting and holding your vibration. And so we talked very much last month in our main theme about the year of the way shower, that this is the task, right? Orienting ourselves to our truth frequency, holding that no matter what. That is step 1 to surrendering it to source, right? If the only thing that you can control is your own vibration and how you show up and what you choose to put into your field, right? What you say yes to, what you say no to, everything else looks like surrender, right? That means that if there are things happening outside of you with people that you love, you are not micromanaging the universe here. You are not controlling, you are not fixing, you are not taking it on for them. Surrender it to source. That's what this looks like, okay? So surrender it to source also looks like things where you might have been in some resistance and you're desiring this shift to take place, but there is part of you in resistance. How can you surrender to source energy flowing into your life and into your being now? What would that look like? And spoiler alert, that often looks like you leaning into something that creates freedom for you and flow for you in the moment. It may have nothing to do with the thing that you're in resistance of. Sometimes we have to turn away from something that is not working, from something that is effortful, from something that we're having trouble with and struggling with in order to get some perspective, in order to get some flow back. So it's really about how you direct your energy, how you direct your focus, what you're leaning into that will say to the universe, I am surrendering to you. I am surrendering this to source. There's something happening here and I don't really understand what's going on. I don't have clarity. I don't know why it's happening. I'm surrendering it. I'm letting it go. Figure it out. Take care of it for me. I'm coming into a place of greater ease and a greater place of receptivity so that I don't need to micromanage it. I'm letting it go. Okay, that's what it looks like. So you might be challenged a little bit this month in places where there is a little bit of constrictive energy where you do need to surrender. And again, if something isn't working, take a pause, redirect, let it go, turn it over to the universe and come back into focus on what is in flow. There will be plenty of go energy here in February. There's plenty coming, okay? So there's really not, this is not a case where we're in a lot of retrograde energy and everything is constricted, okay? That makes it really hard to surrender. There will be plenty of things in flow for you this month, so keep focusing on those. Allow those to expand. How can you breathe more life into into those areas that are in flow? How can you bring more attention and awareness to that? Okay, that's what I mean by surrender it to source. So that takes me to our next theme, which is healing, shame, and self-sabotage. All right, so what I have noticed as we're moving into February is that I have a lot of people showing up that are maybe in a repeat pattern, and they are judging themselves and shaming themselves because a pattern that they thought that they had completed has resurfaced. Okay? And in that shame and in that judgment, they are expanding that energy. The more focus they put on judging this pattern, the bigger the pattern gets. And so it's very tricky sometimes when we're doing our inner work and we want to make sure that we're being conscious and we're not bypassing something, that sometimes we swing the pendulum really far in the other direction and we feel like we need to shame ourselves into submission in order to eliminate self-sabotage, okay? But what I find is that very rarely works, because that requires a lot of effort and a lot of willpower to heal something through shame. This is true in the collective, right? When we're wanting something to change in the collective, or we're wanting an energy to shift within a group of people and we go into shaming them, they're going to react in a negative way. They're going to go more into a place of rejection and resistance. It's the same thing inside of yourself when you're trying to heal these self-sabotaging patterns, okay? If you are not first healing the part of you that is going into shame and helping that part to no longer feel that shame and to feel love instead, if you're not doing that first, it's going to be really hard to let go of these self-sabotaging patterns. And there's something that's come into my awareness recently. I was watching something on the internet and there was a man talking about all of his best teachers and mentors and what they had in common. And what he said is that the best teachers and mentors that he ever had created an arena-sized space for all of the parts of themselves. They created so much space for the different parts of themselves, the lovable parts, the unlovable parts, the shadow parts, the really angry parts. They created so much space for all of those parts that nobody else needed to create extra space for them, because the individual had created so much space for those parts that would perhaps be unlovable or that they didn't want to shout to the rooftops about. And they created that space, which means that they gave themselves a lot of grace. They gave themselves a lot of compassion. And in giving themselves grace and compassion, they were able to show up in the best version of themselves more often than not. Certainly not in perfection. No human is perfect. But the more space we give ourselves, the easier transformation becomes. We are letting go of the shame. We are letting go of this feeling that we have to suffer in order to heal. We are not broken, my friends, okay? We are healing, we are evolving, but we are not broken. So how can you bring love and forgiveness in to these parts of you that you want to shift, to these patterns that you want to shift, so that you are no longer in a place of self-sabotage? Sometimes we have to drop into density in order to create change, okay? There are things within us that have been living here for hundreds of thousands of years within our energetic being that are shifting now. If you go into shame and judgment every single time you have a dualistic thought, there is no evolution that is possible there. So please, this month, give yourselves a lot of grace. Surrender these things to Source, right? Ask Source for help in healing these patterns. Maybe you have been on this looping path for so long with something in your life and you just are not sure where to turn next. Surrender that to Source, right? Don't go into shaming yourself as you try to heal these patterns. That does not work. So that takes me to our third theme, which is super, super important. This is what we're going to be working on in Healing Circle next week. So we've got a Healing Circle next Wednesday, and what we're going to focus on is claiming your journey. Okay, so when we claim our journey, what happens is we no longer look to what everybody else wants us to do in order to heal. So this is the epiphany that I had about this theme recently. I was sitting down and looking at some of the things that I want to heal that I'm still struggling with, some of those self-sabotaging patterns, right? And I was trying to give them a lot of space. And as I was writing and journaling about them, what I realized is that a lot of the stories that I had about myself that I was trying to heal, I wasn't even sure if they were my truth or not. I realized that a lot of the things that I was trying to heal were things that other people had said to me about myself or had mirrored back to me about myself that I wasn't even sure if they were true. So step one for me in claiming my healing journey and claiming my journey was to get really real with myself and say, are these things true? Is this even something that I need to heal? So that's step one. Step two is once you realize that there is something to be healed, indeed it was mirrored to you and there's an opportunity for growth, then you have to claim that healing for yourself. Claim that journey for yourself. You can't heal something for someone else, okay? You can't shift your behavior, shift your state of being in order to make somebody else happy. It has to be for you. You have to claim your journey. And so beyond these patterns that you're healing and claiming that you're healing them for yourself and not for somebody else, I'm also noticing that in the collective, a lot of us are living in everyone else's expectations of us. We are living in what everyone else around us desires that we do, not what our truth is. So claiming your journey means living in your ultimate truth, being in your full truth, claiming that and living it to its highest expression, not doing it for anybody else, not doing it for what your mom or your dad or your siblings or your friends or your partner or your coworker wants you to do. It has to be for you. That's how change happens. If you're changing for someone else, if you're living for someone else, you are going to live a very unfulfilled and unhappy life. So can you take charge of and claim your journey? Can you claim it? Can you claim your joy? Can you claim your unconditional love of self? Can you claim your journey? That is the most important theme of February, and it's going to take us into a place, I hope, by the end of the month, where we feel more centered in our foundation. We feel more true to ourselves, and we know without a shadow of a doubt that the decisions that we're making, the choices that we're making about how we want to live our life are for us, not for somebody else. And it's okay if in choosing you, that means that some things have to. It's okay that if you choose you, something has to go. It's also okay that if you choose you, it makes other people happy, right? Ideally, that's what we want to happen. Ideally, if we are choosing our joy and claiming our journey and doing that out of a place of unconditional love and trust with ourselves, everybody around us is going to benefit. Our light is going to get so bright and we're going to impact everybody around us and we're going to inspire everybody around us. But sometimes when we claim our journey, it can tend to trigger other people. It can tend to elicit a reaction. And so last month we worked on being the way shower in our life and holding our truth, right? No matter what we saw outside of us, really holding that truth and holding that vibration. And we practice that so that as we claim our journey, if somebody has a problem with that or somebody doesn't understand it or somebody can't validate it, that's okay. This is about self-validation and self-love. So that is the invitation as we move into February. Can you claim your journey, your healing journey, your life's journey, your soul's purpose, all of those things? Can you claim your journey? All right. So we'll be working on that in our healing circle, as I mentioned, next Wednesday, February 8th at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. I'm very excited to be working on that with you all. I think it's going to be a really important shift as we claim this journey, especially as we claim our healing journey. What I'm noticing is it does create all of that space that I was talking about so that we can heal at a much faster pace. So that's what we're going to be doing, a bit of empowerment work. I hope you join us. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel so you don't miss any of my updates. I'm doing weekly Zen Within's Day on Wednesday updates about different topics each week, and so you don't want to miss those. So don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you all have an amazing February. Take care of yourselves, love yourselves, claim your journey, and I'll see you next month. Bye.